Guys, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to go ahead and do this video on at least two of the three dosing methods here. The third one, as you can see, is the calcium reactor, and that will be my new venture here on my reef tank. So what I wanted to go ahead and talk to you guys about was the Kalkwasser and the two-part dosing method that I have used in the past and am currently using. So with the Kalkwasser, I was able to dose that using the RO system with the Two Little Fishes calc stirrer here, and that worked out well for a good while. Now, Kalkwasser does have its place still whenever you're dealing with the reef tank, as does the two-part and the calcium reactor. But with Kalkwasser, since it's dosing through the RO system, it's only going to be based on your evaporation. So if you evaporate very little, it's going to dose very little. And if your consumption is high in the tank, that may not be something that you want to use. So again, it does have a place in the reef tank systems. Your tank may evaporate quite a bit, or your consumption may not be as high, and this may actually work for you here. So it really, honestly, this worked out pretty well for a while until the corals started growing, and there were seasons like winter and summer where the replenishment of the RO was more or less. So again, that played a part into where the levels were at, and it was kind of hard to keep things a little stable, especially if you missed a water change or something happened to where, let's say you didn't top off the Kalkwasser and it dosed very little, or it ended up dosing too much to the tank. There's a little bit of unknown with it. So it's good in the sense that if your levels are fine and your reefer who is on top of water changes religiously, then that works out great. And this would be a fine option for those who want to do a calcium alkalinity replenishment. So as far as the Kalkwasser goes, I really did like it. Unfortunately, it got to a point where the corals were growing a lot faster than the calcium alkalinity replenishment was going in. So I moved over to my two-part here, and I've gone through a few of these. This right now is the ESV, which I have used on a couple of the systems that I've had, and is currently on the Lagoon tank. I've also used Aqua Forest. I believe I used a couple other different brands, and so I've had my fair share of different two-part methods here, at least three-part, however you want to look at it. And the thing with the two-part is it's stable. So I would say this is stable if your water changes are right on spot. This is going to be more stable if your water changes, you may miss a week or two, and that's where I was at. I wouldn't do water changes for a while, just because of my own preference there. But it also kept the levels in the tank stable, which was good, and I was happy with that. But what I was running into was there's something missing, and although they may have, like this ESV has trace minerals in it and such, there is something that's missing from when you're dosing a two-part, which may or may not work or play a part in your reef tank. I've seen a lot of folks who have just used the ESV for years, and their tanks are beautiful, and that's great. But for my tank and what I'm doing right now, I'm actually going to be moving towards a calcium reactor here shortly. But what I want to say about the two-part is, if you're going to dose the two-part, make sure and just check your your alkalinity on a weekly basis. It can swing, it can vary, and that's what I'm running into right now, where it's not swinging wildly, but it's not completely stable. The levels will run anywhere between 9 to 10 and very in between there, and it may even climb higher than that. So there's something going on with the 2-part dosing, and I've varied my doser, bumped it up, bumped it back down, tried to, calibrate to get it right in where I need for it to be. But as I keep hearing, calcium reactors keep everything stable. So I wanted to go ahead and give that a shot here and see if I can go ahead and get my levels stable. So I just wanted to go ahead and do this little quick video here on the 3 different methods to let you guys know. I've used them before, and I'm going to give this a shot here, see what that's all about. Hopefully I can get everything stable and get these corals to take off here. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up down below. Hit the bell, subscribe, because I am going to do a more in-depth video on the setup of this particular calcium reactor and get it up and running on the tank. So with that being said, I'm out.